Welcome to Those Guys Sports. It is your boy Mike, and this is just part two of our NBA season preview. And like I said, I am joined by a guy that I hope to be joined with weekly to do these NBA pro. Most likely, we'll talk about the Raptors because that's where we're from, the six. And I'm with Dwayne. How's it going? I'm gonna call him Scully. So if everyone out there, you can call him Scully as well.
Please, Scully, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how's it
every day
going?
above ground is a good one. Giving thanks, giving thanks. Thankful to be with you on your podcast. Hope this is the start of many more, as you said. Real talk.
Many more.
Real
We
talk.
just
Real talk.
did our awards where I would say you were a little bit more bold than I was. I would say. I think I was a little bit more cut and dry. I think we kind of both passed the assignment with our MVP choices. So make sure
Yeah.
everyone listens to that after you listen to that, and then come listen to this one as well. As we're gonna give we're giving top 15, right? Top 15 the standings for the East and the West.
Oh, top 15. I have 10. I have
Yeah,
10.
that's fine. That's
I
fine.
have
Because then we can talk about the teams that you did not and I did not decide to keep.
10.
So this is our standings, and we're gonna tell everyone who we believe is gonna make it to the NBA Finals and who we think is gonna be the NBA champion. Will it be the Denver Nuggets? Will it be the new super team in Milwaukee? Who do we think it's gonna be? But we can go. Which one is you would say the East was much easier than the West, right?
I would definitely say that. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go
100%.
East first, and then we go West. So let's go
Okay, for the
East, guys.
East.
Yeah.
For
So
the East.
do you want to go? We'll go 10 up. So
Oh,
you pick
okay.
you say your 10, I say my 10, and then we kind of go from there. Or yeah,
Okay.
you go your 10, I go my 10. We'll do that. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. 10th, right?
Yeah.
Washington Wizards.
So just to even talk about the last video, my dear friend Scully had said Jordan Poole was going to win most improved. You have a lot of hope. This guy is bold. I thought I was bold. I thought I was like, as soon as I'm like, am I Skip Bayless? Am I Skip Bayless in my life? Can I be saying some wild shit? But then that's bold.
Super.
Washington Wizards, they're definitely not even near my top 10. But okay,
Okay.
that's 10. That's your 10. So my 10 was the Orlando Magic.
Okay. 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 Point is,
Franz,
they're not my
Paolo,
10. That's good.
right? Like Franz, Paolo. I expect them to be good. They have the rookie Anthony Black. They have they're hopefully going to expect a little bit more from Jalen Suggs. I think overall as a team, they're a much better team. But do I think you're going to improve vastly? No, I don't. I think they'll be at that 10 where they're going to be fighting a few other teams.
The
What do you
thing
think?
with the Magic, and I'm sorry to cut you off, if I cut you
No,
off.
no, please, no, please go. Tell me what you think about the Magic.
The thing with the Magic, I agree with you on. They kind of have that, reminding me of like OKC. Good draft picks, good young players, good core. They just need to stay together, hopefully, and
Right,
stay healthy, right?
right,
And we'll see where they can be. But to me, that's my team in the next 4 years,
right.
3 years. They should be making noise in 3 years. That's how I feel about the Magic. But
I
yeah, that was
see.
a good pick.
To even piggyback on that, I think the Magic are like I felt this way about Detroit, but they kind of the whole Cade injury kind of ruined my thought process of them. But I'm thinking the Magic like next year when we're doing this again, I'm saying they should be top four by next year, right? Because you're right, you need that season. You just need
Mm,
seasoning, and I think they'll get that seasoning. They'll probably eventually trade for an actual point guard that can
yeah.
help them. That's the one thing they're honestly lacking, unless they think Anthony Black, the rookie, is gonna become that. Who's your ninth pick?
Ninth, I got Atlanta Hawks.
Sing. So I can just say sing. Um,
That guy.
a lot of people I've seen like mocks, they're picking Atlanta really high. Someone needs to convince me, truly convince me, that this team is good. Like honestly, I'm respecting Trae Young's ability to win regular season games. But other than that, I really don't see much. I don't really see much with the Hawks. I don't think I don't see much. What do you see with that?
The Hawks, I see a good regular season team. I see them getting streaky at times in the playoffs, right? But that's about it. I see them making it maybe to the second round, right? And that's about it.
So
That's
do you
really it.
you see them winning and then going because you picked them ninth? Do you see them going into the playoffs, like winning their play-in?
Maybe. This is maybe like if they get streaky, like Trey Young and the
Right.
Hawks had that year. What year was it? 2 years ago? They
That
got
was
streaky, they beat up the Knicks,
three,
3,
4 years ago.
and they went to the East Finals,
Right,
right?
right,
So they
right.
got streaky at the right time. So they could win a round. They could, but
The crazy
I
thing is,
just
it's happened before. So you're right. It's happened before.
that's all
And
I
they potentially had less talent. They did get rid of John Collins, which I think is probably better for the team. I don't think the man wanted to be on this team anyway.
no,
He didn't want to
no.
be on this team. And I think that's clearly a factor that the man didn't want to be here. But yeah, so okay, Alana is 9. And yeah, you're saying best case scenario, they can make it to past the first round. The thing you're right is
That's
Clint Capella is a good center. You still have Trey, you have DeJounte. Not bad. Not bad. So 8. So this 8 is the 8 that I truly believe will make it to the playoffs. For me, they'll win the play-in. So even if the Pacers, which is my 8, was 9th, I still believe that they'll win the play-in to make it to the 8th. So the Indiana Pacers are the young up and coming team. Would I be shocked if somehow they were like the 5th best team in the East? I wouldn't. Tyrese Halliburton is growing to become a superstar.
yes, yeah.
Matherin is a great shooting guard who, if coming off the bench, he's a guy that we should talk about. We should talk about 6 man of the year if he's coming off the bench. They have a great backup point guard who's going to get traded. Not sure if it's this year or following. Nemhard, especially nowadays, is a starting caliber point guard. But he's coming off the bench right now, and he's a starting caliber point guard. They have Miles Turner. They're going to trade Buddy Hield for potential couple assets. They got who's the guy from Denver that they got again? Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown? Was it
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah, Bruce Brown.
Huh.
So they got a Bruce Brown. I think the Pacers are going to be a good team, but I still think they're kind of young overall. So
Very.
I think they're young. They'll still make some bad mistakes. We've seen like young teams don't win games as much as teams want to tank and be young for the beginning. You really don't want to be young forever. OKC is the dream scenario that everyone is chasing, but there's only one OKC ever. Only one time. And that's having 3 guys who end up being MVPs. Like, you don't get that luck. That's like
No.
luck. You don't get that. So yeah, that's my Pacers are the 8th seed. They're a fun team. I think they're a fun team to watch.
Okay, my 8th, Toronto Raptors. They're the 8th team, and I agree what you said. This team is going to make the playoffs, and I agree. Toronto Raptors, we got good depth. We got a lot of length. We got we got a good overall coaching staff.
Right.
Key staff, right?
Right.
Player development is there. Training staff, immaculate.
Right.
We definitely have a shot, right? I'm not saying this team is going to the finals or winning the finals, but we're going to be competitive in every game this year, right? And definitely we're going to be above 500, right? That's my prediction. 8th seed.
So I'll piggyback on it. The Raptors were my 7th seed, and it sucks because you as a Raptor fan, we don't even want to say 7th seed or 8th seed. We want to say like 1 or 2. Now we want to talk about this team,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like and people who watch me consistently know, I talk about the Raptors all the time. I could talk about them for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, doesn't really matter. I think this team will be good. I believe a lot of it does hold on the strength of Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
People talked about the vibes not being good last year. If you allow me to go on a little bit of spiel about the Raptors, one of the reasons why like they weren't good last year is, well, let's go 2 years ago when Scotty was a rookie. When Scotty was a rookie, Scotty wasn't trying to be the face of the franchise. He wasn't trying to be the second in scoring. He wasn't trying to do any of that. It was still Pascal and it's still Fred. Scotty wins Rookie of the Year. So now the man wins Rookie of the Year. He's thinking to himself that now, okay, I could become that second guy or number one guy. The team loves me. I'm the number one guy. And I think certain players weren't fans of that from what you can see from watching it. And everyone has reported it multiple times that there was a clear clash with the young guys and with the vets. And
Yep, yep,
it's
yep.
clear as day that that was what happened. This team should hopefully be better when we all know there's a clear hierarchy. It's Pascal, it's Scotty. Some days it will be Scotty, then Pascal. Then it's OG, then probably Gary and everybody else, right? The depth, like you said, is much better. I like the coach a lot. He preaches teamwork. He preaches like positivity. The one thing I never, well, not one thing I never liked is about Nick Nurse. I thought he was way too negative. I thought he called out his players in front of people.
He did. He did that too much, calling out players in front of the media and stuff like that. Yeah, you got to keep that in house. I
You
agree
got to keep it
100%.
like sometimes you may have to just make them like aware that you're watching them, but the consistency level that he did it at, I
Yeah,
personally wasn't a big fan of it.
yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, I agree. The Raptors are my seventh. I do believe they're going to be good. It's one of those things that, like, when I mention my six, I don't see why the Raptors can be better than my six, but the Raptors are my seventh. Who is your seventh?
My seventh is the Chicago Bulls. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I didn't have them there because I think they're like blow it up potential. Now we are saying this without the thought of blowing up, but I if they don't blow it up, you're right. I think the seventh, like they have the talent. You have Zach, you have DeMar, you have Vooch, you have Kobe White, you have Caruso, you have names. You have Patrick Williams, who I know Bulls fans want him to be good, but he is what he is.
It is what it is with Patrick Williams. I'll say that too, right? But
Yeah,
they have an overall good squad. It's just staying healthy.
right,
And when is Lonzo really going to come back to this Bulls, right? Obviously, we don't expect him back this season,
right.
right? But how is he when he comes back? Should they blow up the team while you have one of your major acquisitions out on injury still?
Right.
Would you do that as a GM?
I'm blowing it up.
You're blowing it up.
Yeah, yeah, because I can get.
Lonzo out.
Oh yeah, because like
Okay.
the thing is, even Lonzo's coming back to an empty team. I'm not gonna lie. Zach is getting traded, but then it's all of what you want from Zach. Like I for Zach Levine, I'm honestly saying like 2 first-round picks. DeMar, 1 pick. What I wanted. Like that's what I want from both of them. Vucevic, I'll take like a young player and maybe a protected pick from another team. Like, but I'm blowing it up. Like I'm trying to go young. I'm trying to be in the draft lottery for the next 3 years
Oh,
because
shit. Okay.
yeah, after this draft, which I heard it won't be good. Um, after that, it's Cooper. Cooper's coming. There's the Boozer. There's
Cooper
a guy
Flag?
named AJ. Sorry.
Cooper Flag.
Yeah, he's him.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he's coming, right? So
Good
like
lane, good IQ, footwork, very confident.
that's what I'm saying. So if I'm the Bulls, I'm trying to get into the
Yeah.
the next generation of talent. Now I'm trading everyone, tanking and becoming and good. But that's a good pick. I could see the Bulls being that the seventh seed. Now the
Yeah.
sixth for me is the New York Knicks.
Ah, my guy.
Yeah,
My
they,
guy.
they're a good team, right?
Yeah.
They're deep too. They're actually really deep.
Yeah.
I think DiVincenzo
Yeah.
comes off the bench, Hart comes off the bench. Mitchell Robinson, he starts, right? Like
Quickly, your sixth man.
quickly, like they have guys, and Thibodeau just knows how to, play his players the right way. Yeah, does he overwork them and tire them? Potentially, not potentially. Yes, look at Luol Deng, look at Boozer, look at Noah, all of them, and Derrick Rose at the highlight. But yeah, I just think this Knicks team is good. I would predict that they would be if they're not good this season, it's because of Julius Randle. Like, just was negative. That's how I can see it.
Julius Randle
Yeah,
needs to have better shot selection.
I'm not sure that's gonna happen. I'm not sure.
That
He puts
needs
up
to
the
happen.
stats. He
That
puts the
needs
stats.
to happen for the Knicks to make it to the next level and to be consistent. That needs to
Agreed.
happen.
Agreed. They
He
have
needs
the
to make.
package for Embiid.
They say that again.
They have the trade package for Embiid. I don't
They
think
do.
the Sixers will do it, but they have they could trade 3 draft picks, potentially even 4. Trade probably the 76ers will want RJ Barrett. So probably RJ Barrett, Quentin Grimes. Oh, another guy, Quentin Grimes, who, from what I read, they love him in New York. So Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett, and 4 draft picks, and maybe some filler of contract. And then you put Embiid there. You put Embiid with a Randall. I feel like the spacing will be kind of off, but
Bad. It would be bad spacing still.
right. But Embiid can shoot the three at a sufficient level. And I don't know, but yeah, that's my the Knicks are just a team that I respect because of Thibodeau. Who's your sixth?
My sixth is
Oh, you said the Knicks, right?
yeah, the
Yeah, the
same
Knicks.
as you. Yeah,
Okay,
Knicks.
okay. What makes you like the Knicks?
Me, I like what they bring to the table. I like their, I like Brunson. Brunson's my guy. I feel like since he left Dallas,
Yeah,
like he needs to really prove himself,
right,
right?
right.
To prove himself, and he's a good leader. He's a good leader. You know what I mean? And he's a lefty. Lefties are always crafty, right? Villanova guy, defensive player. You know what I mean? And it helps that you have Vincenzo on the team and you have
Right.
Hart. They all played together in Villanova. So also the team chemistry. They got chemistry. They got good chemistry, right? RJ Barrett actually has someone to look at, like, okay, and to work with. You know what I mean? It's just to me, like you said, Randall. To me, it's up to Randall. I feel every other player is gonna grow and do their thing the right way,
It's just
right?
him.
But Randall just needs to make better shot selection, but better decisions, right? It comes down to better decision making with the ball, right? That's
That's
all
true.
it, right?
Uh,
So,
my 15
mhm.
is the Miami Heat.
Okay, okay,
And I just believe they're not going to take the regular season too seriously, but they're also not going to tank it. I
okay.
think, like, once again, I'll just say with the Heat, if you face them in the playoffs, I'm not. They're not, to me. Unless they don't care, they're not getting blown out. Like, they're just
No,
not. Heat
okay,
culture is real. Jimmy
yeah,
Butler is a playoff player. Bam was my defensive player of the year.
yeah.
I just think that's good. And then you talk about revenge season. Tyler Hero was in every trade rumor throughout the whole offseason. If there's a person that wants to come in gunning,
Yeah,
it's Tyler Hero.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
My
What's your
fifth,
yeah.
the 76ers.
Okay.
I don't really believe in these guys. It's just all smoke every year. It's the same story.
Right.
Embiid just right every year. You got the players, you got the pieces. So you say Tobias does what he does every year. James Harden does what he does every year. He's not even who knows where he's gonna be, but he's out the equation. Maxi, he's gonna improve obviously, but it's not enough. They don't have enough depth. To me, it's the same story with the Sixers. That's how I feel about the Sixers this year. They're going to be definitely a good regular season team. Definitely a 50-win team. They should be a 50-win team. But playoffs, second round, they're like the Clippers.
Right.
Lob City Clippers, right? That's how I feel about the 76ers.
They're in a prove it season. Like, they have to prove it to everyone. Like,
They're
we know you're gonna win games, like we know it, but like other than that, like no one thinks you're better than the Bucks. No one thinks you're better than Boston. We barely think you're better. Like, I barely think you're better than the Heat, to be honest.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I don't think, like, in a 7 game series, I'm picking the Heat, to be honest. So like Embiid is Embiid, but other than that, like, you're right. Like, it's James Harden. What has he truly done in the playoffs anyway? Um, if I can get 30 seconds on James Harden, I've always said I want to just have 30 seconds. That guy's ruining his stock, completely ruining it. He is, mind you, the 76ers were my fourth team anyway. So I'll just kind of go with that spiel. Like, James Harden is ruining his ability. He's not going to get a big contract. Would you pay James Harden $20 million a year? No,
No,
you
he's not
can't trust him.
professional.
He's not.
Yeah.
He. Well, look what he did to Houston. Look what he did to Brooklyn. Look, he's doing it again. You've ruined your like your cachet. You ruined your image. You're like gonna be out the league with this attitude. And the thing is,
You're
I'm
ruining
like,
your
no,
brand. Your
right,
brand. You
right,
you are a
and
brand.
right, right. And like, I'm not the only one who's saying. I think Steven Jackson said it. I think Gilbert Arenas or Kenyon Martin said it too. Like
Yeah.
the vets, the older mans are saying it like, yo, bro, you're ruining
He's too
your
old to be
brand.
acting like this. Like if you come in the league, you're 22, 20, you're still a kid, I guess. You're learning, but
Right,
you're in your 30s now. You already know how it goes. You already know the business. So you should conduct yourself more professional, right? You're messing up your brand. You could have certain sponsors, not sponsors, but certain brands reach out to do commercials in the future, like
right,
other ex-athletes, and they're not going to want to work with you because, like, is he going to show up? Is he going to be in a good mood today? Is this?
right.
It's
It's too much questions around his behavior. So you're ruining it. Daryl Morey's, yeah, I believe Daryl Morey lied to you. I believe it. I believe the man lied to you. So, but the way you're moving doesn't make sense. Who's your fourth? I'm assuming it's the Heat.
it's definitely the Cavaliers.
Wow, you got the Heat really high then. Okay. Yeah. What I like the Cavs. What do you like about the Cavs?
I like their guard play, but you know what I'm going to say about the Cavs. They're much like the 76ers. They're giving me that vibe, that 50-win regular season team
Right.
that is going to get to the second round and lose in the second round. And Donovan Mitchell's legacy is second round.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's like his legacy. You have the pieces there. You have the shot blocker. You have the length at the 4 and the 5 spot,
Legit.
right? You have pieces coming off the bench. Garland is one of the shiftiest point guards in the league, and he has one of the quickest releases from three in the league,
Right.
right? And he still hasn't reached his peak yet. Garland's still getting better,
Yes.
right? I don't know if we can say it about Donovan Mitchell. What do you think about Donovan Mitchell? Is he getting better or he reached his ceiling?
I think he's reached his ceiling, but I think playoff time he can reach another level. But I think everyone can. Like everyone has that like ability to just kind of get to that Kawhi level, like scoring 50 points. Like I can see that with Donovan Mitchell. It's like you said, it's the other things. I think that this team, I'm gonna pass my third team real quick. The Cavs are my second team. I just think, like you said it perfectly. Like they're a regular season team. They're gonna win regular season games. Donovan Mitchell has always proven, even as a rookie, that he can beat people in the regular season. The
Yeah,
team is built for regular season.
yeah.
Now, what can he do in the playoffs? That's a good question, right? They have the depth this year. They got Strauss from the Heat. They got what's the big man? George Niang. Like,
Oh, they got the shooter, yeah.
yeah, right. So they got
Mobley's
it.
gonna get better, right?
Yeah. So it's one of those things. Who's your third?
My third is the Heat.
That really believes in the Heat.
I
What
believe in the Heat, man. I
you
believe
believe in
in.
Heat
I know they
culture,
lost a couple of guys, but to me, that culture, it doesn't matter who's really there as long as they have those 3 or 4 guys there, right? I mean Tyler, I mean Bam, I mean Jimmy.
right?
You know what I mean? And that fourth guy, I'm gonna say Spoelstra, right? We're gonna say Spoelstra,
The fifth guy is
right?
Pat Riley. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, right. That's the 5, right? As long as you got those and you got Udonis Haslam on the bench there somewhere, just making sure shit's smooth.
Yeah.
To me, the Heat has that culture. Jimmy Butler in an interview, I came to the Heat and like, you wear this, there's a uniform. They handed it to him. It was like a boarding school he was talking about, right? Just very organized, very direct, very precise, right? And culture like that, right? You still got, is Martin still over there? I'm not sure. Is
Yeah.
Caleb
Caleb
Martin over
Martin's still there. Yeah. Yeah.
there? Okay, so they still got, and he's got stuff to prove too, right?
Right.
So, hey.
Still got Duncan Robinson. And the thing is, like, people are talking about what they lost. They lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. And I'm thinking about it like, not like anyone was really talking about them before. Like,
Thank you, right?
it's
Only in
not
the
like they
playoffs when
lost
they were
somebody.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah,
not like they lost people and we're like, oh my goodness, how could they lose this
yeah.
five-time All-Star point guard or
Exactly.
Gabe is not going to start for the Lakers. He's not even starting there. Will he
No,
eventually, when the season ends? Potentially. And I think he's going to help the Lakers, but like,
definitely.
we can't act as if the Miami Heat are losing pieces that they had in that bubble run because they didn't have those guys. They didn't have the Max and they had Duncan and Tyler that were showing out. So I think as long as Tyler can be healthy, I think Jimmy's going to give him a lot of the reins. I'm going to predict, just to talk about the Heat, Tyler Hero may average 25 points a game.
I agree with that.
He
He
may
was
average 25
averaging 20 last before the injury.
right. right? So I can see Jimmy going like, you saw what I did in the playoffs. I'll be back. I'll be back in the playoffs. I'm gonna play some defense, and I'll
Yeah.
be back. But Tyler,
Remember, Jimmy was playing defense that whole regular season and
right,
shooting 54% from the field,
right,
right? So that's the heat for you.
that
That's consistency.
that is the Heat culture.
So,
Um, did I say my third was the Bucks?
ooh, the Bucks is the third for you? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
so like the way I went at the third Bucks and second Cavs, but we already talked about the Cavs. But yeah, the Bucks, like
Cavs is really second for you, huh?
I just believe the regular season team. Like I
Yeah.
believe
Well, this
even
is you're right. This is regular season. This is not who's gonna win the chip, which
I
is good.
believe the Bucks with I don't think Middleton's gonna play a lot of games because I think they really want to vamp him up to the playoffs. He's gonna still play like probably 50 plus games. I still would say that. They have one of the best starting units. Dame. It's when you get to the top, it's not much to talk about. Like the bottom one's easier, but they're gonna be a good team. The Bucks are gonna be a good team. They're gonna be a team that we're gonna talk about. They're gonna be a team that we are predicting to win 50 plus games. I wouldn't be shocked if they're first, but I do think they're just gonna slow roll it for most of the season, win the games they need to win, show up for where they need to show up, and that's really it with them.
I agree. They're gonna show up for the national televised games on
Yeah,
TV or rival games, if you will, whatever, right? And just make sure they're healthy and everyone is on the same page. Yeah,
yeah.
I have the Bucks at the
At
second
second,
spot, anyways.
yeah, that makes
So
sense. See, like the top three are probably gonna be the top three, right? Like we believe the Cavs are a regular season team. The Bucks are gonna be good, and are both like, clear as day. We can just say it now. Our number one pick is Boston.
100%, 100%.
They're the ultimate though regular season team to me because they're gonna win games. They may win 55 games, right?
They definitely will win 55 games if KP can stay healthy too. I was seeing him in preseason catch lobs with one hand. I don't really remember seeing KP do that. Period. Right.
Right.
So he's feeling good to be in Boston. Right. So
And the thing with him, he's in some nights could be the third option, some nights he can be the fourth option. So I think in saying that, like Boston has they have a lot, and the bench. I think the one thing they've always lacked is like a strong bench. But you have when you have Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, two guys who can give you 25 points a game. I think you're fine. You're fine. KP can give you. He had his best season last year, like stats wise, like his efficiency, all that was his best season last year, and people
yeah,
weren't talking about. He had an All Star type season.
yeah.
So I would predict that. But yeah, so our East at the top is pretty like the same, the bottom. So that means you didn't have the Magic and Pacers
No.
on your top 10. I had them. So yeah, I didn't have the Nets. I think we both agree on the Nets. The Nets have all this like random talent. Like they
Yeah.
have the Sibbins, they have Mikhail, they have Johnson, they have a bunch of random guys.
Yeah. Is Dinwiddie back there?
Yeah, yeah,
Dinwiddie
yeah.
back there
They have
too.
a lot of random people as well. So I do believe, in that team as well. But you know what? We're going to cut it short for the Eastern Conference. And
Okay.
then we're gonna do Western Conference next video. And who knew it would be a three-parter? But when you're talking about ball, it just happened.
Yeah.
So we'll do a three-parter with the West plus we'll do our finals prediction as well. So I'm gonna cut it off now. Thank you guys for watching. That's the boy Scully. It's your boy Mike. And we'll see you guys. Like, hopefully, you're watching this stuff back to back. Make sure you're watching this back to back. This is just NBA content. NBA season is going to be live and well. Peace.